On February 21st, Russian forces entered the Donbas region of eastern Ukraine. Why did they do this? Because Russia does what it wants. Boom. Explained. Explained. Just kidding. Our story really starts in 1991 with the breakup of the USSR and with a referendum on Ukrainian independence. Looking at those results, although it passed in total with overwhelming support, the Ukrainian peninsula of Crimea was basically in favor of remaining a Russian state. 54% of those that voted there had voted yes, but with only a 60% turnout, the math is just that 37% of the Crimea population was in favor of independence. In the US, 60% turnout is worthy of celebration, but I'd like to think a referendum on secession might bring out a few more people. Moreover, the citizens of Donbas region were also not as high on the idea as Western Ukraine, but still the three provinces averaged 85% of votes in favor of independence, which made out to be 65% of their populace, a clear majority in each province. These results are somewhat reflected in this language map, showing most of Crimea and some of eastern Ukraine speaking Russian as a first language. Skipping ahead to 2014, the pro-Russian pseudo-democratic government is overthrown by Ukrainian people, and the ensuing democratic election would bring about a pro-West regime. Alarmed by the events and taking advantage of the chaos, Russia would take the opportunity to annex the peninsula of Crimea, which you may remember from a few seconds ago was largely not big on the idea of independence in the first place. Forces supported by Russia inside Ukraine, left over from the puppet government, would remain, but by 2016 were pushed back nearly to the eastern border of the Donbas region. You might notice that the area considered to be controlled by these pro-Russian forces is not quite the entirety of Donbas. We do not yet know if Putin will be satisfied with what was basically there for the taking, or if he has plans to attack the Ukrainian front and attempt to annex the entire region known classically as Donbas. Also possible is that Russia has its eyes on the land bridge to Crimea, or even the entire country. Important to note is the obvious difference in military power, as yes, Russia has the advantage, but they would no doubt take losses in an all-out war, especially as they have only currently deployed to the region about half of their forces. Ukraine has the inherent advantage of being on the defense, and I'm assuming they will be getting actionable intel from US intelligence. So all things considered, let's say it's a 4-1 Russia advantage in terms of risk pieces. And how much would you not want to be on one of those two Ukrainian warships? Yikes. As far as help in the form of NATO or US direct military intervention, there will be none. No major country will risk war with a nuclear power, and although Ukraine wanted into the United Nations military alliance, they are more interested in NATO than NATO was interested in them, as adding a country that could be imminently invaded by Russia was considered taboo, and still is. Which is ironically why the hell they wanted in to begin with. Sorry. But the West has supported Ukraine with weapons in hopes of deterring a Russian invasion. Guess that failed. Skipping ahead to 2022, Russia has been moving forces toward the Ukraine border, and come February, these efforts were amplified under the guise of military exercises, though no one was really buying that excuse. Well, maybe a few dummies.
No, Russia is literally going to invade Europe. Russia is literally going to invade Europe tomorrow. No.
On the 20th of February, the pro-Russian forces inside Ukraine broke the ceasefire. A bridge is blown up, some other infrastructure destroyed, a school is reportedly hit by shelling, though luckily no one was inside at the time. Russian spin places the blame of these and other incidents on Ukrainian forces, but again, no one sees any of this as anything but a precursor to a Russian invasion. Which is exactly what they got that very next day. The invasion would be in the name of peacekeeping, and to support the two regions of eastern Ukraine Putin now had recognized as independent. No heavy fighting has yet to be reported, and the incursion could draw down from here. But worrisome for me is the Putin speech the morning of February 21st, where he not only went through reasons why his forces had entered the Donbas region of Ukraine, but seemingly was listing off reasons he felt entitled to the entirety of the country, even throwing in that time Russia had freed the region from the Nazi Germany occupation. Even if Russian forces don't advance from their current positions, the threat for Ukraine will be ever looming, and Putin will no doubt be working to soften up the next bit of land for their next incursion. And I do fear the West's sanctions may either be too easy as to not hurt Western business interests, or too harsh as to leave Putin feeling like he might as well just take the entirety of Ukraine now. Whatever decisions world leaders make from here, all eyes will be on Ukraine. Hi there. Thanks for watching to the end. Please like or subscribe to support independent investigative journalism and strange anime characters giving you the news.